to a new video here on the channel, where I am today gonna talk about the basic premise of farming on Welcome to Farmtown. So basically, anything that has to do with farming, I am talking about it today. So we're gonna begin with the your farming plot, the whole how do you want to lay it out, how do you want to put it. So you want to do it small first and not just jump into something like this. So I do have this little area here prepared for an example of how you can do small. This is a perfect example of small. It covers 12 of these sprinklers, and while this might be more cost efficient, it will help you in terms of farming. And then when you have farmed a bit and gained a few levels, and then you start farming pumpkins, which is the best thing to sell, except well, other than magic beans, because they're the best, but otherwise pumpkins. And so when you have managed to get there, so before pumpkins you would be selling corn and potatoes and onions and stuff like that. And then when you get to the point where you can do pumpkins, which I'm not too sure which level you have to be at, it's been a little bit now, but when you do, starting on a size like this isn't too bad, because when you have made enough money to where you're actually able to expand your size, you want to expand it to something like this, which is big enough to cover this whole irrigator, and it'll save you a lot of money in terms of water bill, because the bill goes up so slow. You don't have to pay it as often, basically. So the size for this, it says when you buy it, but I'll just go ahead and say that it's 11 by 16, and it's quite great. And then also, when it comes to farming, having storage is also a good thing, because you can store your crates in these on these racks, storage racks, and then instead of just putting them on your truck immediately, you can have them stored here and then farm more. And then should a subsidy come, for instance, you've got some prepared to take out for delivery, and that's always a good thing to do. And so so once you've done that, you'll be great to go there. And let's say you don't have any of this yet. Let's say you don't have this storage house, and you want to buy one. They're really cheap, like $50. And then something you're gonna need a lot of wooden nails, but that's for another video. But to farming, you have these things as well. The seeder, which is, well, it's in its name what it does. It seeds. So you just walk around and seed. So that's what you would use before you had a tractor. So before you have a tractor. And then there's also this little water sprayer, which helps you water your things, but you won't need it for that long, because you will have the sprinklers, and then that's just gonna do your job for you. But after that, you're very good to go, because we're gonna go ahead and drive to the tractor shop again, or the vehicle shop. I know I showed it off on the update video, but it's just so that I can help you understand how long it'll take to get the money to get a tractor and the tractor's seeder. I am not too sure on the other tractor accessory yet, because I haven't really used it yet, so I don't know what it cuts and what it doesn't cut. But basically, here we are, and this is a tractor, right? It's $10,000. As you can see, it's gonna take you a little bit to get that 10,000, but once you're there, once you've got it, you want to get a tractor, and you want to get one of these as well. So you're gonna need at least 15,000 to get the tractor and the seeder, because that's the two things that you're gonna need the most. Because this thing I haven't really used, It's a grain harvester, so you'll harvest grain crops and stuff like sugarcane. And like, I can see how it's useful, but for someone like me who doesn't really farm grain crops other than when I feel like cooking, I just use my small farm to do that, because I don't need to use the big one for it, right? So that's why I have a little small one dedicated for it. So that's where that comes in handy as well, is making a separate small one and then making your big one, which is very useful. So we're gonna go ahead and go to Jebs real quick, and I'm gonna show you some useful things that you can get. The irrigator, when you have 15,000, I would recommend this. So it goes, I was wrong there, I said 11, I meant 13. It covers 16 wide and 13 long. Really good, useful, and it is expensive, but when you're able to get one, you definitely should. Like I said before, it really does take down the cost of water tremendously. And before then, this is your best option. $50 a sprinkler. So I mean, it's better than a water sprayer, which is $200, because at that price you can get 4 sprinklers. So you shouldn't even buy it to begin with. And you don't really need a watering can for long either, because after you've sold a bunch of wheat and then when you've started doing potatoes, you'll be very good to go, and carrots for that matter, because whilst these are the lower end of farming, you will need to use them to learn how to, because there's so many quests. I'm losing the words here. Farming has so many levels, but it's gonna help you a lot to farm carrots, potatoes, corn, and wheat in the beginning to get your levels up, because they grow so fast that replanting them is no issue. Corn a bit slow, but wheat and carrot and potato I think is actually some of the fastest. And then what I also recommend to do in here is you could get a lawnmower, but I mean, this one is kind of optional because it just does what the big tractor does. So whether you want to get one or wait until you have a tractor, it's up to you. But you can get one of these and get the grain crops, and then of course a hand-driven seeder, which is cheap. It's $100 and it is helpful. That's what I used before I got the tractor, before they added it into the game, and it's just really good. And this thing, the root crop harvester, basically you don't need it, because you're not gonna, unless you harvest potatoes and carrots, you're not gonna, that's like the only thing I can think that you're gonna use it for. But I feel like the waiting for the tractor one is better. So just make sure you don't have too big of a farm to handle, basically, because you're gonna want the storage. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how this tractor can be amazing. Like, all you do is literally just drive around like this, and as you can see, it's very easy for me to just farm. And I know that pumpkins are in season now, so me doing this will help a lot. Do you see how quickly that was for this whole big farm to just drive around in a tractor? This is what you'll do in the later stage of the game. I was just showing an example today in the video, but this is something good that you can do with a tractor, at least. And farming in its own way is great here, because what you can do as well when it comes to farming is, even though I wouldn't consider this farming typically, is because what this does is it turns wheat into wheat into flour. That's the word I was looking for. So that thing, the windmill, takes your wheat, right, and turns it into flour, which you can then bake stuff in your oven, but that's for another video. Where I'll be explaining how that works and stuff like that. But this was cooking. Today we've discussed a bit. I've been teaching you guys about cooking. That took a literal 10 minutes to talk about every aspect of cooking, of farming, and the sizes of your farm and that. So I hope I was helpful today, and I hope that you'll enjoy the other videos that are coming and videos that already are on the channel, because it was a lot of fun to talk about farming. I had a lot of fun. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Until then, goodbye.